Welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to discuss about the Cisco FTD failover. So topic will be failover. Right, so there are three failovers. One is active standby, another one is active active, and another one is clustering. So now in FTD, active standby is being said as active standby, clustering is as clustering, but a little different way. But instead of active active, there is another concept known as multi instance. So it's a multi instance. So this is a new concept in this one, which is much interesting because it also changes the way how you configure the active active and also changes the way how you're going to configure the clustering. So in this video we are going to talk about the active standby only. Alright, so before active standby, as you know that we in our topology we do have an FTD2 which is a standby over here, and this is the FTD1 which we still until now we were using the FTD1 which is the active one. We have done the whole policy and all those things, everything on this FTD only now. So there is no configuration on this FTD2 for now. It's a fresh install. We did not do anything on that one. Alright, so active standby. So before we proceed, you need to know that there are certain conditions for this one. So as usual, like the ASA, here also is the same thing. Like you need to have the same license. It should be an identical device with identical modules and all those things, and including the interfaces and everything should be. It's like an identical device, including the license and all those things. So let's have a look on the website of the Cisco. What are the conditions for that one? If I open the page, now you can see that it should be of the same model. It should be running the same version, same number of interfaces, same type of interfaces, part of same group on the domain in the FMC. So if you have created a multiple domains in the FMC, then you have to make sure that it is under the same group and the same domain. So NTP synchronization, and it should be deployed on the FMC without any uncommit changes. That means it should not have any pending commit changes or like uncommit changes or something on that one. So everything should be up to date, and it should be either in the routed, if it's a routed. So my firewall active was the routed one, so we are going to use the routed one in the standby also. So it should not have any DHCP and point-to-point over this VPN or anything configured. So and the fully qualified domain name should be unique. That means each and every FTD should have the FQDN should be like a unique one, not the it should not be the same like the primary one. So these are the conditions which you have to meet before you gonna do anything. So in virtualization, pretty simple, so nothing to worry about it since we are going to use the identical device. So let's go ahead and do the lab. Right, so back to my topology. This is my FTD2. I have done nothing, so I've just initialized. It is still loading. If you see that, it has not totally load up yet. So until then, what I will do is like I'm gonna provide some switches over here, and I will make my topology. I will just delete the links. Right. I will take two switches more. So this is will be the inside one, and this one will be the outside one. Select, and I will rename this one. For switch one, I will say that INSW. For outside, I will say that outside SW. And now I can use the switches now. Right, so let's go ahead and configure. Management port should be connected to management switch, and I will rename this port name. I will say that this one will be management 0/0, and that will be equal to 6. So management of my FTD was 5, and here is 6. And now let's configure the inside one. G0/1 is the outside, 0/0. As I said that the mappings are a little different over here. G0/2 should be connected to inside, and G0/2 should be connected to inside, and G0/1 should be connected outside, and G0/1 should be connected outside. And from here I will connect to my internet. From here I will connect to my Ethernet router. So just edit. So G0/1 equal to .2, apply, and I will just rename this one G0/1, and I will that's it. This is my standby, so I am not providing any IP address for now. And G0/1 will be G0/0, that is equal to DSCP. I already have that one over there. And I will rename this one as a G0/0. Okay. Now I need to connect to DMZ. So I think I should not be worrying about the DMZ because I'm not using my DMZ for now. So I will just let it be there. So I'm only using from inside to outside to do the testing. So for now I have done my connections and everything is good and fine, looks good. The only thing is that I'm just waiting for this to come up. So once this is been up, then we will start configuring our topology. And one more thing to note down over here is like currently I'm using for my GNS VM I am using 26 GB of RAM now. Okay, so 8 GB for my FMC, 8 GB for FTD, and 8 GB for FTD. This becomes 24, and the remaining I'm only using the one router and one PC for my testing. Right, so these switches are inbuilt, so nothing to worry about it. So including these two, it should be only 256 MB. So still I am left with 1.5 GB almost, but make sure you do have some space left, RAM left for the GNS VM. So I'm using 26 GB for this topology. Alright, so my device is up. I have just changed the password and nothing else. So I will go ahead and I will provide the management IP address, that is 10.1.1.6. And I want to configure yes. I don't want to configure the IPv6 now. Manual yes. Now I will enter that one. And subnet mask is the same. Default gateway is 10.1.1.1. Fully qualified domain name is ftd2.cisco.com. And the list of servers are 20.1.1.2, 8.8.8.8. And list of domains is cisco.com. That's the domain I have in my organization. And now it will ask me for the routed mode or transparent mode, so I should be going with the routed mode, and I will not be managing my device locally. But I will say no, I don't want to manage device locally. So I will go with the default routed mode, and it will now configure my firewall. Alright, so my device is up now, so I will go ahead and configure my manager. So I will say that configure manager add 10.1.1.4 with Cisco123 is my password. So I'll go back to my FMC now, and I will go to my device management. I'll go ahead and I will add one device. I will say that this one will be 10.1.1.6. Display name will be FTD2 and registration key is Cisco123. I don't have any group for now. So I will go ahead and I will just assign the block policy which we already have, and it's been already been in use with the active firewall. So I will just select the malware thread and URL licenses, and I will click on register. So this will take a 5 to 10 minutes to come up. So once it is been done, I will come back. Alright, so my device registration is complete now. So what I will do, this is in ungrouped one. So I will create a group now. I will say that SYS GRP group, and I will select both the device here. Click on OK. So once the group has been created, it will show me that SYS GRP, and inside that one, these both will be added. Now you see that from ungrouped to grouped now. So these are in same group now. Same policies has been applied. These are identical device. So click on add, go to high availability now. I want to give a name as an HA. Select the device tab. I want to go with threat defense. And now it will ask me to which one is the primary and which one is the secondary you want to keep it. For now, FTD1 will be the primary and FTD2 will be the secondary. Click on continue. And this operation restarts the snort process of primary and secondary devices, temporarily causing traffic interruptions. So it will restart the snort process. So that's the reason is like if there is any traffic which has to go through the snort process, it will be rejected. So it will take a little time, like 5 to 10 minutes. So peers have interfaces with a DHCP or PPOV. So I have to remove the DHCP interface and I have to add a default gateway towards it. So that's the one error I have to fix. So what I have to do is like I have to go back to my FTD1. So if I just bring up the FTD1 and I will say show interface IP brief, and let me check, it's 122.35. So I will keep the same IP address, go to the outside, and I will just go ahead and I will say that static IP address 192.168.122.35/24. Okay, and I will save this one and I will go to the routing now. Since I'm not using DHCP, so I need to have a default gateway towards my ISP. Click on routing. Right, so I will go to my static routes, and now I will go back to my click on route, and I will just say that route outside any IPv4. I do have an object here, default gateway, but that is 192.168.122.1. You can see over there. Click on that one and click on OK. So object has been already been created previously, so I'm using the one, and click on save. And now I will go ahead and I will deploy these settings first. And I will just go ahead, deploy and deploy and deploy. So once this is be deployed, I will come back again. Right, so I have deployed my policy. So now I will go back to my device management. Click on add, go to high availability, and now I will give a name as HA. Device type threat defense should be FTD1 should be primary and FTD2 should be secondary. Click on continue, click on yes, and now you see that it is opening the high availability one. So interfaces, which interface you want to use for this failover link. So I did not connect anything, so I will go ahead and I will say that G0/4 and G0/4. That means G0/3, this is the one. So G0/2 is the DMZ and G0/3 is the failover link. Right, so now this has been connected, so I'll go back to my FMC and I will say that I want to connect to G0/3. You see that? And I will select in the state link also the same, and logical name you want to give as a failover link, and primary address I will give like 100.1.1.1, and secondary IP address I will give 100.1.1.2, and subnet mask will be 255.255.255.0. Encryption we are not enabling for now. We're just assigning the failover link IP address standby primary and the standby IP address, and just assigning the subnet mask, and click on add. So now it will add your high availability into your active standby mode, and this might take around 5 to 7 minutes to configure this thing. So once that has been done, I will be back. Right, so I got this warning now saying that configure interface monitoring options to protect the high pair interfaces, apply the same health policy to primary and second. So yes, I'm clicking OK because it is going to apply the same health policy. And if you remember in the monitoring, we have gone through the options of the health monitoring system. So click on OK and it will now configure that high availability. Right, so high availability has been configured. As you can see that it took 5 minutes, and now you can see that active is primary and second. So now if I go to my device and device management once more. All right, so now I don't have any option to edit single device now. So if I have to click on the HA, that is the name which I have given to my high availability. So I would go ahead and I would click on this one, edit, and now you will have the details of the information here. And now you can see that what are the interfaces being used: outside, inside, and DMZ. And if you want to configure now, go to device, and you will find the information of the device over here. So click on interfaces. Now you can configure your interfaces from here. So G0/3 was your failover link, so you are not able to do anything for that one. Okay, DMZ is down because we did not connect the DMZ yet. So now you can use the entire different interfaces which are left. So as usual, you can do your normal configuration, you can do your routing and everything as normal, which we have done previously. Now it's time to do the testing now. So I will go ahead and I will say that ping google.com, and let me check I am able to ping. Okay, so that's good. So if I go back here and I will try to open the facebook.com, I'm able to open the Facebook. That's good. And now what I will do, I will go ahead and I will go to device management and I will do the failover. So before I do the failover, I will just do the ping to the google.com, and let me check whether the ping is being disrupted or not. So it's pinging now. So I will just click on this here, switch active peer, click on that one and click on yes. And now it is switching, and let me check if there is any traffic drop off. So that ping google.com, it's still pinging. So it's still loading up. Now you see that secondary became active, but what I will do, I will just do one more time. So I will switch one more time. Okay, the primary is standby now, so I will switch one more time, click, and before that one I will just start the ping and click on yes. And now let us check whether the ping has been dropped or not. Now you can see that switch has been successfully done, but my ping is not been dropped. That means single traffic is not yet been dropped. I'll stop the ping, and if I go ahead and check, there was some delays here, but no traffic has been dropped. Now you see that my FTD1 became the primary, FTD2 became the secondary now. So it's very good that without dropping any traffic, we are able to switch over to the failover, and it is very much efficient in this one. Right, so one piece of information that is missing is that if you realize that we did not give any secondary IP in this one. So there is no secondary IP address. You did not even assign. While doing the configuration, you can see that we have not assigned the secondary IP address. So if you are running like 6.2 version, then you will assign the secondary IP address. But I think I'm using 6.2, so there is no secondary IP address in this one. So you're not doing anything over here. No configuration with respect to the secondary IP or the primary IP address. It will be only using the one IP address which is on the active, and what all the IP addresses which are on the active, it will be just shifted to the standby in case of the failover. So this is a piece of information you have to keep in mind. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next video.